Welcome to Truth Uncovered, the sanctuary where illusions are shattered and clarity is king. Today we venture into territory most men tiptoe around. If you're an older man, in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or beyond, this message is not just timely, it's essential. Maybe you've built an empire, maybe you've faced wars, life threw your way, divorce, disappointment, long nights filled with questions and short mornings with no answers. You've earned your scars. But then, something disrupts your equilibrium. A younger woman appears. She's vibrant, playful, unpredictable, like fire in human form. And she gives you attention, real attention, the kind that awakens something primal, something buried. Suddenly you feel seen again, alive again. And that's where most men fall. Not because they're weak, but because they forget who they already are. Chapter 1. Never shrink to fit her world. Stand tall in yours. One of the gravest mistakes older men make with younger women is trying to relate by pretending they're peers. You start adjusting. Your vocabulary changes. Your clothes shift from timeless to trendy. You start quoting TikToks instead of authors. And in doing so, you lose your edge. She stops seeing the composed, seasoned man who's walked through storms. Instead, she sees a man chasing relevance, which to her translates into insecurity. Here's the Stoic truth. Your age is your advantage, not your obstacle. You carry years of unspoken strength, wisdom that can't be Googled, presence that doesn't waver. You don't need to match her energy. You need to anchor it. A man trying to be younger is a shadow. A man being himself is a monument. Example? She says, OMG, I love this new 23-year-old YouTuber. You don't fake enthusiasm, you smile, pause, and say, I'm more interested in things that don't vanish after a scroll. That's not rejection. That's power. Chapter 2. Don't be her therapist. Be her mirror. She opens up, talks about her trauma, her toxic ex, her emotionally absent father. You listen. You empathize. You become her late-night call, her counselor, her emotional anchor. Sounds noble, right? Wrong. You're becoming her emotional sponge. And the more you absorb, the less she respects you. Because here's what you don't realize. You're not building intimacy. You're becoming an emotional utility. Women bond emotionally, yes, but they desire men who can hold space without being consumed. Stoic men do this well. They don't rescue, they reflect. They respond with lines like, that sounds heavy. I hope you give yourself space to work through it. Not cold, just composed. You don't fix, you frame. Chapter 3. Stop chasing her validation. It's a trap, disguised as affection. Every time you soften your truth, wait longer for her texts, overcompliment, or tolerate what you wouldn't normally allow, you're not being kind. You're being conquered. You stop leading. You start orbiting. You become an echo, not a voice. Women, especially younger ones, subconsciously test for strength. If she senses you're waiting for her approval, the dynamic flips. He doesn't value himself unless I validate him. That's the death of polarity. The Stoic man starves her of his attention unless it is deserved. You're not being rude, you're protecting your energy. If she takes 6 hours to reply, you don't panic, you don't chase, you don't re-engage, you move. Your life doesn't pause for a text, your mission doesn't shrink for validation. The Stoic man says, my worth doesn't fluctuate with her interest. That contrast, your calm against her chaos, that's what creates true magnetism. Chapter 4. Don't try to impress, just lead. Impressing is rooted in insecurity. Leading is born from certainty. Most older men try to wow her, flash the car keys, talk about vacations, try to be the interesting guy. But real strength whispers. Instead of trying to impress with stories, impress her with your calm. Instead of proving, just decide. You say, let's meet here. Instead of, where do you want to go? You sit across the table and ask about her values. not to win points, but to see if she has any. Stoicism teaches, don't try to be liked, be yourself, and let the world adjust. The man who leads makes her feel something modern dating rarely delivers. Safety through strength. Chapter 5. Kill the fantasy. Live in the present. The moment you start imagining long-term futures, trips, homes, babies, based on nothing but chemistry, you've already lost, because now you're not seeing her. You're seeing a projection. Every red flag becomes a pastel pink. Every contradiction becomes something we'll work through. But you're building castles on clouds, and when she walks away, you're not heartbroken because of her. You're heartbroken over a future that never existed. The Stoic man watches patterns, not potential. You don't invest emotionally until you see consistency. You don't adjust your schedule, your friends, your mission, until she shows she's worth that level of inclusion. Be curious, be open, but don't commit to a fantasy. Chapter 6. Never be her backup plan, you are not her option. Sometimes you're not the main man. You're the just in case. She calls when she's bored, texts when the other guy ghosts her, flirts just enough to keep you around, but never gives you the real thing. And the dangerous part? You know it. Deep down you feel the disrespect. But you rationalize. You make excuses. You lie to yourself because the crumbs feel better than the silence. But Stoic men don't beg for crumbs. They build their own table. If she can't prioritize you, she can't access you. She shouldn't feel lucky to have you. She should feel privileged to keep you. Withdraw from anything that makes you feel like a placeholder. Your presence is a gift, not a gap filler. Chapter 7. Stop over-investing too soon. Make her earn access. A younger woman may be attractive, energetic, intoxicating, but energy isn't enough. Stop giving her the full blueprint of your life after 3 dates. Stop shifting your mission to accommodate her uncertainty. Make her earn access, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. If she wants your time, she has to value it. If she wants your attention, she has to earn it. If she wants your soul, she has to qualify herself. Too many older men think generosity equals loyalty. It doesn't. Standards create value. Your boundaries aren't walls, they're filters. She's either aligned or eliminated. Chapter 8. Control the frame, or lose the game. When you enter a dynamic with a younger woman, the frame is everything. The frame is the unspoken energy that says, this is how I move, this is what I tolerate, this is what I expect. Lose the frame, and you become entertainment. Own the frame, and you become unforgettable. You don't argue over attention. You don't negotiate respect. You don't explain your value. You embody it. Women respect men who stand in silence with more authority than others speak in paragraphs. Chapter 9. Emotional discipline is your superpower. You're older, you've suffered, you've bled. So don't throw that away by acting like a teenager around a beautiful face. The more composed you are, the more she has to rise to meet you. She escalates drama, you go silent. She plays games, you disengage. She wants clarity, you deliver it with poise. Masculine emotional regulation is not repression, it's precision. It's what separates boys from men, chaos from calm, neediness from nobility. Final word, be the mountain, not the storm. You don't need to impress her. You don't need to save her. You don't need to change yourself to fit into her youthful world. You are the mountain. Let her whirlwind dance around you, but never let it move you. When you stop performing, stop projecting, and stop over-investing, you reclaim what made you attractive to begin with. Presence, power, peace. Comment below. I lead from my center if you're done chasing and ready to command.